Welcome to the B3 podcast, coming at you live. Well, we're not live. I'm sorry.
No.
But we're recording together for the first time in a while. Huzzah!
Yeah, I mean, we record.
I haven't been on camera together. Well, I mean, we've been recording at Ray's
video recording
at home base. At home base, but not from each other's home because Ween moved a couple months ago and only just now got computer hooked up. Yay! So we're here. Hello.
We're queer. Yes.
Get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
What are we? Get out of here.
Well, we're gonna give you. We did see a movie this week that we wanted to chat about because we were both
for sure.
Like, once we left this theater, we were kind of like, "Oh my god!" And then it hit us even harder.
Crestfallen.
It's a good movie, but that's not why we were crestfallen.
Yeah.
But we wanted to spend
Crushed.
2 seconds to talk about. Okay, we didn't even announce this on the podcast.
Horror news.
So we didn't announce this on the podcast, but we were planning. We had tickets, expensive tickets, to see Insidious: The Further You Fear. Interactive live stage show, and I think our excitement was this. Okay, because we were kind of like, well, who else gonna like review it?
An immersive horror experience. What could go wrong?
Chills you to your bones. You'll be on the edge of your seat. So, as someone said, yeah, they were on the edge of it as they were lifting their butt off and leaving the theater. If you don't know already, it's just today, as of January 29th, is done, skis. It's closed. So, a whole bunch, 66 city tour.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it didn't start its run until last week, so no one knew no one knew. There was no video of this thing going, ahead of time. On purpose.
This was a totally new thing. Totally new idea.
Yeah. And so I was sitting at home and I was like, I should look to see, I should see if anybody has seen the show yet, what they think. And so I go into trusty Reddit and I just started going, oh no. Oh no. And so I said,
oh yeah.
I sent the links over to Ween, and I was like, I think we made a bad mistake.
It was like fireworks. It was like one thing after another, like constant reviews. I'm like, this is awful, this is terrible, don't even bother. I wish I could get my money back. You know.
I mean,
middle school shows have been better.
Where it got to, I think it was Waukesha or possibly Madison, where someone was like, we didn't even ask for a refund. The theater just sent us $25 refund, everybody.
Yep. That was Madison, Wisconsin. I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we were
wild
I was like,
stuff.
Well, I said maybe because there were people betting how long it was gonna last. So, they said there's no way it's getting to Chicago. They will rip it apart. Well, didn't make it to Chicago. Made it to Detroit, and
we got Detroit. It was destroyed in Detroit.
Nights. Yeah. Detroit, kudos, because you got us out of having to go see this thing. Thank you. You've done the Lord's work. Thank you. Yes. Because from what I understand, 45 minutes in, half the theater was already walked out. And then they couldn't hold curtain call. They couldn't complete it because the audience was gone.
That's terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad for the actors.
Just one thing after another, and
yeah,
that's the thing. I feel really bad for the actors and the crew and people that put their money into this.
Yeah, I do not feel
or
bad
are depending on it for money.
Yeah.
Right, depending on it for an income, and that sucks. That really sucks for them.
It does suck. And, I hope that they should get sued. Honestly, because the trailer that we saw was okay. It's still very, enigmatic, but it was also very opaque. You couldn't really figure out what it was actually supposed to, what's the word, ambiguous.
every single ad for it was, and I read through it again this morning, their own website had no indication of what people, online said it really was.
Right.
It's supposed to be an immersive horror experience, supposed to scare the daylights out of you. Do not bring young children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
honey. Oh, honey.
I woke up to
we lucked out.
Yeah, we lucked out. So we would have loved to have gone to see it, but we didn't. So
I know. Just because it's closed now and now we're not going, and because we saw these reviews, I'm the idiot. I'm the weirdo that is like, okay, I really want to see how bad it is. Right.
Oh, 100%.
Now I really want to see it.
I cannot wait for someone to put the bootleg video up on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you do, or if there's already one and you know of it, maybe shoot us.
Send it our way.
Shoot it our way.
Please. Okay.
Yep.
So that's that. We lucked out. We dodged a bullet.
Yeah. Like we were like Neo. All right. So we were here to talk about this thing called life. No. The presents.
Dearly beloved.
Yeah, I was trying to remember how it went. It's just presents, isn't it? It's not the presents. Steven Soderbergh film.
Yeah.
Starring some amazing actors, honestly. Lucy Liu's like the only one you're gonna like know, but like the guy who plays her husband is
all of the
fucking
cast.
Great. Yes, agreed. All of the cast.
Oh. Okay. So Ray, texted me as often happens, and Ray's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see this movie. It's a new Soderbergh movie," and I was like, "Burp." And she was like, do you want to come? I'll just see it, myself, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I hadn't heard a thing about it. Not a thing. Never heard of it before. Didn't, and I did watch the trailer, but I knew nothing else. I didn't know anybody in it, except for Lucy Liu and all that. So I was blind going in, and holy cats. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard for us to talk about, and I guess we should decide if this is going to be a spoiler or not. I think we could spoil a little and still not spoil the big twist.
Yeah, I think you can really, you should fucking see this. And now that I'm thinking of it, and now that I'm looking at the IMDb thing, it's not a large cast. It's very small. It's like 10 people.
Yeah.
12. Including the painters that are in like one or two scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's really so good. How do you want to describe it, I guess?
So what we could probably do is let me see if there's a good plot. Okay, I would say let's just do like a plot summary that is online, so that way we don't give anything away. Because they're gonna.
I got one up. Do you want to?
Yeah, go for it.
I have IMDb's up. A family becomes convinced they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs. That's it.
And really, that's all you need. That's really all you need.
Right. That's all you get, and that's all you need. It's a little spooky, and I guess this is sort of a spoiler, maybe, but the entire movie is shot as if you are this presence. Like, it's shot in that view. You are the ghost.
Yeah.
And I'm not huge into ghost stories or ghost movies or whatever, but man, this was good. Oh, it was good.
Yeah, I would say so.
It was cleverly shot.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. No, so I would say, if you don't want to listen to any more, I mean, we're not we're not going to get into the big spoiler, because again, I think you should see it. But I do think that things that happen in the movie there are things in there that are eerie. Because I'm not going to say scary, and so part of me thinks that do not go into this. I don't even necessarily know. Yes, I think it's horrific in the aspect of being a ghost fucking sucks. Like,
Right.
do you think of like that's
This
your rest
is-
of your fucking life? Or your
This is-
existence? Yeah.
For anybody that's like a slasher horror fan, I just want to go see fun, blood and guts. This is not for you.
Yeah.
This
I've
is
heard
very cerebral. It's very emotional. But it's still got some spooky moments.
Yeah, I would say, and looking back, they're now the spooky moments are more touching to me than they are spooky. But so I'm gonna say right off the bat, this is probably gonna be for about 5% of our audience. Honestly,
maybe.
of those who are watching this, because if you
Maybe
like
5 or 10.
lo-fi, I mean, because once it comes down to it, it's a family drama. It's like
that's exactly it. There are so many points because you're the ghost. There are a lot of points where you're isolated with one other person, just following them in the house, and they're having like a conversation on the phone that nobody's supposed to hear, that you weren't supposed to hear, or this the mom, Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
Phenomenal job. I fucking hated her. But I love Lucy Liu. She was great. There's a point where she's talking to the son and they're having a really weird conversation and you're uncomfortable, but you're outside looking in.
Yeah.
But you're there. And it's so crazy. But yeah, like you said, it's scary when you don't know who it is and what's going on and what's happening. This, the second, the moment hits at the end right before the credits, then like you said, it's more we actually, after the movie ended, at first I didn't get what happened because I'm dumb, somebody had to explain it, but then afterward we were talking after we got to our separate homes and kept going back and forth and going, oh, I recall this moment, oh, what about this moment, and it just kept exploding from there. So it was kind of exciting to we were tracking back. It was so cool. It was good. It was so well done.
Agreed. Okay, I would say I don't think there's anything summary wise, so why don't we just get into, would you like to, or would you want me to tell how we do reviews?
Why don't you do it, darling? Because you're the best.
Okay.
The BEST.
So we do a compliment sandwich. So we start with something we liked, so pro top bun. Then we move on to something we didn't like, our meats. And then we like to end on a high note. So we shoot you in the face with another, with the bottom bun, another pro, something we liked about the book. Would you like to start? Or would you want me to start?
I'll start.
Perfect.
Camera angles. Wow. The camera shot and the angles and the natural, this has to have been just literally a person with a camera just moving around the house. And it is a house. This is not a soundstage. This is a house.
Yeah.
The beginning, there's one long shot for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just one long shot. It was beautifully filmed. The cinematography was mwah, 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 mwah. So good.
A ghost just doing ghost things. It's like a lazy afternoon
doing
with the
ghosty
ghost.
stuff.
Yeah.
As ghosts do.
Yeah. It's, one thing I've heard people say, and I agree, not everybody likes this, obviously. I'm sure that we were probably the only people in our theater that probably liked it. Which is fine. I don't give a shit. Is that they're excited that Soderbergh has not lost his touch. He's still experimenting. The guy who fucking filmed a horror movie on his iPhone, which is really good. I really liked that one. He knows how to do it. And he's brilliant. And I think this was right up his alley. So I agree completely. Cinematography is just fucking fantastic.
Outstanding. How about you,
I would
Miss Ray?
say,
I'm sorry.
Along that topic. No. Also, I would say, if you're going to see it, if you last this long and you say, "Hey, Mel, go to the theater and see it," because you need the sounds. Unless you have a crazy big
isolation.
Screen,
yeah.
And an amazing sound
the surround.
System, then fine.
Yep.
Yeah, then fine. But I think you need that, because it makes it a little bit more eerie. Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, it is the. It's the writing, it's the story, it's the it's what's the word I'm looking for? The creation of like the story. Like I honestly, this is such a smart and interesting take on a ghost story.
Yeah.
And it's something I've not seen before, and I think because there's a little bit of mysticism, sort of, kind of, that gets added to the mix at one point, or lore, I guess I should say. But yeah, and I think that they handled it so well, and it's so smart, so fucking smart, because at one point it's just you gotta pick up those little tiny pieces that are dropped by a random psychic that comes into the house, and
oh my god, I did not get the ending until you reminded me what the psychic said. So FYI, if you see this movie, pay attention to exactly what she says and how she says it.
And then she shows up again.
Just put it in your pocket,
yeah,
until you get to the end.
Yeah, she shows up twice. Listen to exactly what she says both times.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's mine as a story and the writing. It's great.
Yeah, awesome.
Something we didn't like as much. I have one. If you
if
you have one,
I do.
Go for it. Go for it.
It's not really. It's more of a cheese sandwich for me, but it's more of a grilled cheese because I still enjoy it. There were some things, but at the same time, the argument can be made that like, it was better that you didn't know or you weren't supposed to know. But there were some moments or storylines part of this whole thing that like you didn't get a finish on. Like you didn't get, like, the dad has some kind of financial stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wanted to know more. Like, what happened? But we don't get that. But that's okay. That's not the central plot of the movie. It's just yet another layer, showing this family's kind of struggling. That's all it really, is supposed to show.
Sorry, I didn't mean to apologize. But hold on 1 second. We're gonna take a break for a second. Excuse me. So did you have anything else to say? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. No, yeah,
Okay.
it was just, there was that, or like some conversations you didn't get to hear all of before, like, you walked away.
Right.
Yeah, but just little tidbits, like just little itty bitty pieces like that. Or in the beginning, the painters.
Yes.
You only
one says
really
something in particular.
One says something about the other painter, like, they're not coming in this room.
Yep, he refuses
like,
to come in
here. And like, I wish I could have seen what did he feel, what did he see, but again, we're not supposed to see that, so it's not really a bad thing. It was just like
Right, and I think so. I agree 100%. That was actually going to be mine. It's like I needed some.
Oh, sorry.
What? No. I like it. No, it's fun. We can have a co-meet. We can have
co-meet.
Co-meets. Like Arby's. Is that I just needed a little bit more. It was, a little bit more storyline. It's 80 minutes, so it's under 90 minutes. So it's short.
Yeah.
I could have used a little bit more rounding out, a little bit more, because they started something, and they got about halfway for a lot of the storylines.
Yeah.
It's part of that, but then at the same time, I'm kind of like, I get why he did it, because the ghost, I mean, they're not going to be standing there staring at every person waiting for each part of their storyline, so they're only catching pieces and parts. So I kind of like it now the more that I think about it. And from what this, God, no, I can't even say it. I'll have to say it offline, because now it's even more like, it makes even more sense, and I kind of love it now. But yeah, that's mine too, so I agree. Yeah. All right. Bottom buns.
I was just looking actually, and I'm finding it absolutely impossible that what I was going to use as my bottom bun is the acting in this is outstanding. Just beautifully done. I felt like they were a family next door to me. They felt so 100%. Natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had great chemistry, even when they weren't supposed to. Like the husband, Chris Sullivan, plays the father, and Lucy Liu that plays the mother, Rebecca. Like, there were so many times where Ray and I were like, oh, Peter, or looking at each other like, I love the dad. I love him. He's the best dad. Yeah. He's a great dad. Oh,
he is.
Yeah. Just like, he's a good dad. You know? Yeah. But I'm looking at, and the brother, Ray, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm looking at his IMDb page, and this is it.
Oh, sure.
You are crapping me that this is his first gig. He is so good. So good. Sorry,
I loved her.
Kellyanna Lang was really good. She's been in Tell Me Everything, Bad Genius, Foundation. And I think she's a very early riser too. I think she's going to be one to watch out for. Everybody was excellent in this.
Yeah, agreed.
So that's 100%. My bottom bun. Acting.
Acting. I will say that my bottom bun is this, even though my, it says I'm emotionally broken. The movie has stuck with me. I'm still thinking about it. Yeah. And I'm still I'm getting thinking still about coping. It, and I'm getting real emotional. Yeah. So again, I would say it's, every so often I get one of these ones that I like, it just gets in there and it is stuck in my heart. Like, and that's what this movie has done.
Take another little piece of my heart now, baby.
I mean, never would I have thought from that trailer that was like, you'll see horror in a different way, and I'm like, yeah.
The way here's the thing, the way the trailer set it
Don't
up.
Watch the trailer. Yeah.
Don't bother. Just go.
Yeah. Just go.
The trailer set it up like to be some kind of like Insidious like movie.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, what you got was something more akin to like The Sixth Sense.
100%.
There was
100%.
That was a slow burn, but it got rave reviews. This is exactly the same, I think. Not exactly the same, but I mean the same feel.
Somebody, I guess there's comparison to, I don't remember what year this movie was, but A Ghost Story. But from what I understand, that was a little more off the wall. That was 2017, I believe. But yeah, that's the same thing where a recently deceased white-sheeted ghost returns to his suburban home to try and reconnect with his bereft wife. Very similar, like I could see that, but this one, it's
right here.
It's right
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So sad.
I think though, you probably, if you do like that one, you probably will enjoy this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What?
No, not at all. I'm sorry that I was about to cut you off. I wanted to point out another actor, and again, everybody in this was good. The kid that played Ryan.
Oh my god.
He was really good. He's good.
He's great. I wanted to punch him, and that was his job.
I hated his guts, but he was so good.
He delivered. Yeah.
He delivered.
Such a scumbag.
For sure.
Such a scumbag.
So that's that. Go see it, please.
It
was yum.
I mean, honestly, I don't think our rating. Well, I don't.
Our rating system doesn't really match with this. Would it? Okay.
No.
You want to go for it?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
If you're not familiar, we rate we rate movies based on a 5-point scale, 5 being the best and 1 being the worst, under 4 categories. First category, blood and gore. Miss Ray, what would you give it out of 5?
Is there is a scene at the very end that is pretty rough. I mean, there's not a lot to be seen, but it's enough that's traumatizing. I should say. It's a traumatizing shot. So I'm going to say just 1 for that. Like, I don't know necessarily if a lot of TV shows would show that. Necessarily.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same 1. I think 1 is definitely deserved because it's not, again, this is not a slasher. This is a slow burn drama.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Spooky Scary. What would you give it out of 5?
I'm gonna say 1 again, just because it is eerie in places that. And at first, you're gonna say yes, that was like a certain kind of things that happen, like effects that happen are, I guess spooky when you first see it, and then when you look back at it, it's not spooky anymore.
Yeah,
it has a whole completely new meaning.
But it is eerie, like you said. I'm gonna say 2.5. I thought it was really, because, like, again, after the fact, the aftermath, you're like, oh, it's not so scary. But because then you know. But when you don't know what's going on or who it is or whatever, and you're going through the movie like, ugh, whoa, what is that? Or,
yeah, I guess you're right on that one. Yeah,
there were a couple, like, there was one moment where you like blow on her hair, on the daughter's hair, and she's like, what was that?
Yeah.
You know?
Or when she tries to come into the house, the psychic tries to come in the house. Yeah. So you know what?
Yeah.
I will give it a 1.5. 1.5.
You don't have to upgrade it for me if you want. Okay.
No, you convinced me.
Yay! Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Okay, so 1.5, 2.5. Third category, sex and nudity. 1.
There's a
I'm
sex
gonna say
scene.
1.5. There is a sex scene. No nudity.
But
there is a sex scene. And I'm saying 1.5 because there's some weird sexual chemistry between two characters that really should not have it, and it's like a little uncomfortable. It's more one-sided, but really makes me uncomfortable.
It made me uncomfortable. There's a scene in particular made me real uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun and entertainment. What would you give it?
This one's hard to say. Yeah, I mean,
I know, because it's not like I had fun, but like it stayed with us. We saw this 3 days ago.
I'm gonna say 4.
4? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go sign 4. It was when it really.
Yeah, I turned to you and I said, I loved that. Like when and I haven't done that in a while.
I was like, I don't get it.
Well, also,
but it was great.
Here's the other thing. At the beginning, I was having a hard time hearing people.
Yeah.
Because so I guess that's part of my Me Too is because of the way it's shot. Sometimes the people aren't facing the camera, so at that point, I can't even read lips either. So there was that at the beginning. I was thinking
something.
Yeah. So I think that that could have just been lost in a little bit, not lost in translation, but definitely like just misheard things too, or not heard.
So yay, that's that.
Yay. So if it's the first time you're watching one of our videos,
welcome.
Thank you. We are a weekly podcast where we talk about all things spooky. This year we have taken a little bit of a side quest, and we're doing directors, and we're doing it by the month. I say that, and then I say that our next month,
and then we're totally throwing that out the window for February. Yes. Fuck it. It's our show. We can do what we want. Yeah. We're doing all vampires. All bloody February. Mm-hmm. My bloody Valentine February.
Vladuary.
Oh, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. There we go. And I'm gonna recommend this book, Dark Romances, Sexuality in the Horror Film by David Hogan. I've been reading the chapter on Lugosi Lee and the Vampire Lovers. So, yeah, I'm excited. So maybe I'll bring some insight to our podcast. Probably not.
I can't wait, baby. I can't wait.
But
sorry, we're very
wrapped
singing.
up Carpenter. What was that? Carpentruary. And so we, and then February will be Women's Month because I think and I'm actually kind of excited for that month too.
You mean March?
Yeah. What did I say? February?
Yeah.
March. Thank you.
They get it.
You can find us a whole bunch of different places. You can like and subscribe.
Bling.
Follow us on Spotify. Listen to the podcast. We think we're pretty funny. We're cutting it down for you guys. We know we tend to, so we're cutting it down. We heard you. But you can follow us a bunch of different places.
One of
threads. You. We heard all 12 of you. Blue Sky. Follow us on Blue Sky. I've been trying to change all of our our insignias and our logos and stuff, because we used to be Booze, Booze and Blood. Now we are just B3 podcast. So I believe on Blue Sky we were
getting
B3
ahead of that. Just going ahead and getting ahead of that.
Yep. I believe we're B3 horror podcast, but yeah. All right. How do we? Well, until next time.
Keep it spooky.
Boogin.